Hello, it is I am Smart, and Star Wars The Acolyte is finally over, and that means I don't have to hear Star Wars fans complain about it every week. Finally. I don't even care about the show, I'm just glad I don't have to hear idiots online complaining about, the woke Star Wars show, it breaks canon. I'm so sick of it. I'm so hearing about The Acolyte. Alright, it's just done. It's finally done. I don't have to hear about it anymore. I'm gonna make this video, give you all my thoughts on it, tell you about the show, what I thought about it, and then we're never gonna have to talk about it again, because holy crud, it wasn't even a bad show. It's not like I hate this show. It's just every single week having to see freaking, millions of views, of videos on YouTube being like, oh, The Acolyte is so bad, it's the worst Star Wars thing ever, it's so bad, Disney's gonna be ruined now, Kathleen Kennedy ruined everything. I'm so sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of the fact the fandom menace has gotten this bad. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about The Acolyte as a normal, rational human being. Review this show, just as a regular Star Wars fan who has a brain, who doesn't lose their mind at the mention of diversity or woke or any of that stuff. I'm not going to do that, but I'm also not going to glaze this show, act like it's the best thing ever, okay? I'm not going to do that either, alright? I don't get paid before any of you comment, oh, he's saying The Acolyte is good, he must be a paid Disney show. I'm not. If Disney paid me, I would be telling you about it because I'd be flexing the fact that, yes, Disney is giving me money from it. No, I don't get paid by Disney. If the only thought that you can, come up with in your mind when someone says an opinion that's different from you is though, oh, they must be a Disney shill. If that's the only thought in your mind, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. If your only response to somebody saying something you don't agree with is, oh, they're a paid shill, they're paid to say that opinion, because no one could like The Acolyte, you're an idiot. So with that intro out of the way, let's actually talk about The Acolyte, because, this show got review bombed, which was just kind of stupid, so you can't really look at reviews. But yeah, I'm just going to tell you, I watched all the episodes of the show, watched them all when they came out. It's been a couple days since the finale came out, and it was cool. It was an okay show, I guess. Apparently the viewership numbers were really good, I heard, but then I also heard some people say that this show got not good viewership numbers, so I don't know. I can't be bothered to actually look up, but I heard it got good viewership numbers from someone who wasn't an idiot, so I'm going to trust them, that random person on Discord who was like, oh, I heard this show got good viewership numbers. I'm like, sure, I trust you. Anyway, so what was I going to say about the show? Yeah, it's just kind of okay. Honestly, I'm just kind of apathetic towards Star Wars in general right now because of how much fans have made me hate Star Wars. I can't be bothered to be like, yeah, this show's amazing, because it really just isn't that good either. I mean, it's entertaining. It entertained me throughout the episodes. It was an okay show, It was fresh and new. That was the biggest thing for me. I was really looking forward to this show because I'm like, oh, okay, it's set way before the prequels, brand new characters it's all going to be fresh new stuff for Star Wars. And it did. It brought in a lot of new things to Star Wars. There were some more, the fights were more martial arts based, as well as there were also just really good lightsaber fights. That was probably my biggest thing, was really good choreography in this show. The lightsaber fights were good. They're probably the best part of the whole show, was the really good fight scenes, really good, intense fight scenes, but I don't know, that's all I gotta say. The fight scenes were good. Am I gonna write a whole essay about why The Acolyte has the best fight scenes since blah, blah, blah? No, they're good, okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all you gotta know. They have good fight scenes, go watch them. There is some rough dialogue, some lines are just kind of silly and they're not delivered very well, but again, that's just episode to episode. Some episodes have better directors than others, I guess, I don't know. Some of them had better writers than others, it's not always, the show's pretty inconsistent. And again, the biggest problem I have with the show personally, and that I've seen a lot of other people talking about, is pacing. The show has a problem with pacing. It's not because, oh, the show is woke, they have too many non-white people in it, or they try to do, gay stuff, or... Anyway, that's not the problem with the show. The problem with the show is pacing. It's because the show isn't long enough, it's only 8 episodes, and they want to do, 12 episodes of content, but they have to kind of cram it down a bit, and then some stuff just doesn't get developed fully, and then sometimes they're doing this thing, and then it just quickly moves to another thing, and it's just kind of a mess sometimes. It's a bit hard to follow, just because it's just they wanted more episodes and they only got 8, and it just kind of sucks. I like the vibe of the show. I don't really know how to describe it, because again, I'm not like a professional viewer. I'm not going to write up a whole essay on my thoughts. I'm just spitballing here. I like the vibe of the show. The show had a good vibe. What does that mean? It felt like the original trilogy, kind of. I don't really know how to describe it. Some of this, the way stuff was presented, the way characters did stuff, the way Star Wars-y things were explained and presented, it felt like the magical whimsiness of the original trilogy that I love. I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. Maybe it was because every 5 seconds had a wipe transition, like the original trilogy does and the prequels. I don't know. But again, it was also just very prequels era, because they're talking about the Jedi, and the Republic era, and it was prequels in that sense. So, it was a nice balance of that stuff. It was very prequel trilogy and original trilogy-esque, which again is why I don't see why some people are hating this so much. It had a lot of vibes of Star Wars. It was a definitely Star Wars thing, but it didn't have to remind you it was Star Wars every 5 seconds. That was another thing I really liked about the show. It didn't have to be like The Mandalorian, where every 5 seconds, like, oh, we're going to Tatooine, and there's Mos Eisley, and there's a droid, and there's a thing, and there's another Star Wars thing. Look at all the Star Wars things on screen. This show had Star Wars things, like they go in ships, they jump to hyperspace, they have lightsabers, but they don't have to be, hey, audience, look, this is a lightsaber. Hey, audience, look, there's a lightsaber here. Isn't that so cool that there's a lightsaber? Have you ever seen one of these before? It's a lightsaber. Look, it's a lightsaber. It's just, they have fights. The Jedi have lightsabers. And they don't use them all the time. That's another thing I like. The Jedi just, like, they have their lightsabers, but they only use them when they need to. And then they're all like, oh, Jedi only pulls out their weapon when they're ready to attack. It's just, I don't know. Stuff like that I think is cool. It's nice little stuff. It doesn't have to be, you know, explain the whole Star Wars lore to me. It's just there. And it's just part of the world. And I think they did a good job with it. I don't know. Also, there's a lightsaber whip at one point. Apparently, this is something from the comics. This is just the first time we see it in live action, but it's like, it was a clip from the trailer where the green lady, like, pulls out the purple lightsaber whip and then puts it away. And that's literally it. That's the only scene in the show. Like, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, but that's literally all we see of it. Is just, whoop, she has a lightsaber whip. Cool. And then it goes away. It's like 5 seconds to get to see it, so I don't know. Also, this show, like, killed off a lot of characters, which is something I wasn't sure if they would do. I figured they kind of have to. And then they did, and they killed off a lot of characters, like main characters that were established in episodes die in an episode, and I'm like, holy crud, I did not think you would kill these characters off. I thought everyone was just going to live, but no, they didn't. It was kind of like Rogue One, where it's like, wait, you killed off, like, most of the cast? Wow, I'm impressed. So, yeah, sorry if that is kind of a spoiler, but, like, a lot of the characters that I were like, no, there's nowhere they killed them? They killed this character? Huh? What? Or like, this character did this thing? I thought this character was perfect goody two-shoes, man. He did this thing? What? So yeah, it's just, the show has a lot of, like, suspense, and mystery, and intrigue, and other interesting things. I don't think all of them have great payoffs, but sometimes they do. And that's just kind of the whole vibe of The Acolyte. It's like, sometimes it does something really, really good, other time it's just kind of okay. But the whole time, I had to watch people on the internet go, this is the worst thing ever, it's so bad, it's awful. You guys have not seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, clearly. And just, some people complain like, oh, the show breaks canon, like, they changed this character's birthday, or this thing does this thing when it should do this. So many stupid things people complain about. People complain about the fire in space, as if that's not, like, something we see every time there's an explosion in space battles. Like, come on, dude. But, like, also the other thing is, like, everyone's like, oh, you know, the writers of this show don't care about the Star Wars lore. It's like, what about, you guys all always talk about how much you love Dave Filoni. I always see fans like, oh, Dave Filoni's the best, he used to be in charge of Star Wars. That dude retcons, like, anything. Any project he works on, he retcons something. Like Tales of the Jedi, he retconned an entire book about Ahsoka and changed it just because he wanted to have a scene where Ahsoka fought this Inquisitor. It's like, huh? Just retcon a whole book just so we can have one scene in a throw-off show? Like, what the heck, Dave Filoni? So he changes canon all the time. There are many, many, many more examples of Dave just, whoop, I'm going to change this thing. And also, for those of you saying, oh, they should have had, like Dave Filoni work on the show. Stupid Leslie Headland, who likes her? Because apparently she's awful or something, I don't know. Everyone hates her, that's a whole thing. All those stupid, you know, like, anti-woke fans, fandomists, whatever you want to call them, they all hate her. But Dave Filoni and Leslie Headland actually worked together on this show. Like she regularly consulted Dave Filoni, asking him lore questions. So all of you are saying this show breaks canon, Dave Filoni was consulted. And, you know, a lot of you know, put him up on a pillar as being the Star Wars lore expert, so there's that. But yeah, and then this is the main thing with seeing comments on Acolyte related stuff, because, like, there's these are my times where something cool would happen, but then I'd check the comments, see what people were talking about in Star Wars fanbase, and I'd see, like, people were making fun of an actor who was a bit heavier playing a Jedi. I'd be like, oh, look at that guy, he's fat, he's ugly, he's fat, why is he playing a Jedi? A Jedi is supposed to be all fit. Well, he shouldn't be playing a Jedi. Like, seriously? This guy probably is like, yes, I finally get to be in a Star Wars project, looks online, sees people bullying him for his weight. Like, that's just disgusting. That makes me hate being a Star Wars fan. That makes me not want to wear the Stormtrooper helmet or have all these Star Wars things in my room. Stuff like that, seeing people be like, haha, Darth Diabetes. Seeing people say stuff like that online makes me just want to throw it all away. Throw out all my Star Wars stuff. I'm not even joking. I genuinely, like, consider, why am I even making Star Wars related content when people like this are Star Wars fans? I don't want to be associated with that. It's disgusting. It disgusts me, but again, that's why I say this stuff. That's why I mentioned it. That's why I say these things. I don't want to be associated with people like that. People who hate on this show for stupid things like that, who just show how truly awful people they are when they say things like that online. So I don't want to be associated with that. That stuff just it's awful. So that's why I'm saying it here. Another crazy thing. So, a lot of the people who hate the show are like, oh, the prequels are so amazing. A lot of these fans are the fans who talk about how amazing the prequels are. Yet I saw so many of them be like, I don't get it, guys. This show makes the Jedi look bad. Like, they're covering up, like, a bunch of mistakes they did. They do a bunch of bad things. It doesn't make sense. The Jedi are supposed to be the good guys. It's like, man, do you not get the point of the prequels? You constantly talk about, do you not get the point? The point of the prequels is that the Jedi are flawed in their dogmatic views, which leads to Anakin having to try and deal with all his emotions, and they just say, nah, just don't have emotions, man. And that causes him to have problems. That's the downfall of the Jedi. The whole thing with the Jedi is that the prequels are about the downfall of the Jedi. This show is showing how it started, how the cracks started to form, how the Jedi were prideful. They were like, oh, we control all the power, and the Republic should just trust us. No one should question us. We have all the power, because we're the Jedi, and we're so amazing. We never do anything wrong. That's the thing. That's the point. I don't get how people don't understand this. It's like, guys, this is the point of the prequels. You talk all the time about, oh, the prequels are so great. George is such a genius with all his writing. You don't even get it. You don't even know what you're talking about. It's ridiculous. Now, again, if you do get that, I'm not saying you're bad, but I see a lot of people say, like, oh, the prequels are so amazing, and then they just miss the point completely. So I see it. It bothers me, and that's why I'm saying it here. So yeah, my personal biggest problem with the show is the fact that it released episode by episode. Like, I think had they just dropped all the episodes at once, the whole fan outrage would have been a lot quieter. Because of the fact that, like, they have a character who's like, oh, I'm a Sith, and then the Sith shows up, and I was like, oh, well, that breaks established canon, which something people were complaining about before the show even came out, as it was like, oh, it's gonna break canon because there can't be a Sith during this time period. The Sith are supposed to be in hiding. And it's like, okay, what if the Sith just kills everybody, which is what happens in the show. Sorry, spoilers. But the Sith kills everybody that sees them being a Sith and doing stuff. So it's like, yeah, that's how they stayed hidden. That's how it happened. This has been already established. The show doesn't break canon here. If you'd actually just watch the show and wait till the end of the show when they reveal all this information, it'd be out. But because there was at least one episode where established this episode, have to wait another week and another week and another week to, be like, oh, okay, it doesn't break canon. There was just so much time in between of fan outrage online. It was just annoying. Like, obviously those people should just not complain, but still, like, if they just released all the episodes at once like the Fallout show did, everything would be great. This show, I just think some episodes are just boring. Some just are. Some are just, you watch them, you move on to the next episode. So, like, if you're going to watch the show now, you didn't watch episode by episode like I did, I think you'll have a much better experience viewing it. But, let's be honest, the reason is because they want to spread them out. They want to have, 7 weeks or whatever, how long this show is going to be going on. Because that's longer than a month, which means you have to pay them for more than a month of Disney Plus. You can't just buy 1 month. Nope, you got to buy more than a month, at least, of Disney Plus. So you're going to have to either buy 2 months, or you may as well just buy the whole year bundle. Pay that a little extra more, get a whole year of Disney Plus. It's scummy, it's just good marketing. I understand why they do it, but it's just like, come on, man. Just released all the episodes at once. It would have been so much easier. Just everyone could watch it, talk about it, enjoy it, and it would have gone over way better, I think. I don't know. But I really did enjoy this experience of watching this show, just because, like, week by week, I would talk with Star Wars fans in, like, the official Star Wars Discord, which I occasionally only really talk in there when new Star Wars stuff comes out. And I would just be talking with people, and be like, oh, do we think this thing is this thing? And, like, the fans that were there were just the fans who were excited about this show and just wanted to talk about it. Sure, there was the occasional guy who'd show up and like, oh, this show sucks, but then no one would talk to him. And, like, it was just, oh, do you think this happening? This? And it was just fun. It was fun to talk with Star Wars fans about Star Wars that didn't just evolve into, this thing sucks, the sequel's the bad, the prequel's the blah, blah, blah. It was just nice. Because, like, in comment sections online, like on YouTube or on Instagram or wherever, I almost always see stuff just evolve into madness. But, of the few moments I had chatting with a couple Discord servers about Star Wars with people, and it's just like, it's just nice. It's just nice to talk with people and speculate about Star Wars again. It's fun. It's an experience I haven't had in a while. So, that I really enjoyed. It's not really something the show can... I guess I have the show to thank for it, but just talking with Star Wars fans about Star Wars is still fun for me, and it reminds me that, oh yeah, the Star Wars fan base isn't completely full of idiots. It's really just that small portion that are really loud and annoying, so, hey. So yeah, I'd say this show is like a 6 out of 10. It's got some really cool stuff, but it's just got a bunch of other stuff that's just kind of and just holds it back, It's not as bad as the Fandom Menace says it is. The people saying, oh, the show's the worst, it's woke, it's terrible, Star Wars is dead after this, they killed Star Wars. No, it didn't. Star Wars is doing fine. And then on the other side, you got people really, really like, oh, this show's amazing, all the haters are so stupid, this is the Acolyte, this is so good, it's so good, it's the best show all on Disney Plus. No, it's not. No, it's not. Andor is way better than this show. Andor is so much better than the Acolyte, dude. It's so much better. But I mean, come on, it's Andor. It's better than everything. It's kind of hard to compare. But like, it's in the top 3 Star Wars shows on Disney Plus. But again, that's really just Acolyte, Mandalorian. Sorry, Andor, Mandalorian, then Acolyte. So it's just, yeah. Oh yeah. So should you get Disney Plus for this show? You made it this far in the video. You haven't watched the Acolyte yet. You don't have Disney Plus. You're considering, should I maybe get Disney Plus to watch the Acolyte? No, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're the most entertaining part of the show is going to be those lightsaber fights. You can just watch those on YouTube. But if you are interested, it does have a fairly engaging story. It's an entertaining show. If you got Disney Plus already, give it a watch. Or if you maybe really want to, just do a free trial of Disney Plus. You need to watch all the episodes within that week free trial they give you. Just create a new email if you need to. Make sure you cancel your credit card before they charge it. Yeah, you can just do that now. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. If you're not gonna lose your mind when a non-white person appears on screen, like a bunch of other people do, it's an okay show. It's just pretty entertaining. It's not the best thing that's ever existed. It's not the worst. It's just kind of okay. But if you don't want to get Disney Plus and you don't want to watch the Acolyte, but you're still looking for some entertaining Star Wars content, check out my channel. Check out the IR Smart channel. I got all sorts of fun videos to watch here. And if you want something really, really long, something's going to take quite a few hours to watch that Star Wars content, consider watching my live stream series where I play Jedi Fallen Order. It's really fun. I spend most of the time basically just obsessing over Second Sister, but it's kind of funny. I think, at least. I don't know if anyone else does. But, I mean, there's other stuff that happens in the live streams that's pretty fun. So, if you want to watch an extended series of me playing through that game, the final live stream is going to be this Thursday. So, check that out, where I'm going to do the final boss fight and maybe some other stuff. I don't know. So, that's coming up. So, look forward to that and, maybe go watch that. That's really good. I think it's really fun. I think it's a really good live stream series. So, you should go check it out. So if you go to, the live tab of my channel, you can see it. Anyway, I'm going to talk about spoiler stuff now. So it's the last part of the video, because I didn't want to spoil anything too much in this video, but I figured there's probably a decent amount of you who did watch the show and are curious about my thoughts on some specific things that happened in the show, because this show had some decently big reveals and other moments that are worth talking about, but we'll get into spoiler territory. So again, haven't watched the show, you don't want to be spoiled, I somehow convinced you to go watch this show. I don't know if I really did, or you're just curious, whatever, yeah. Okay, so first thing, twins, May and Osha. I don't think they're ever really explained that well, because at the end they're like, oh, you're the same person. Your mom used the Force with the Virgins to... And I'm like, what are you even talking about, man? I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan. I don't even know what they're talking about here. You're the same person, but the Virgins made you 2 people. And I'm like, dude, that went completely over my head. Maybe someone can explain it to me. I don't know. Maybe they're going to explain it in Season 2. It's just kind of this really big reveal they built up to, and a couple times they're like, the secret between you twins is, and then they'll just move on. But when they finally explain it, it's you're the same person. It's no, they're not. There's 2 of them. I get they're played by the same actor, but it's different. I don't know. So it was weird. Also, when the big reveal of oh hey, this Cremere guy that's been following around May is actually the secret Sith Lord who is just called the Stranger. That was just kind of oh well, yeah. The episode leading up to the reveal at the end, it was kind of obvious. Yeah. Just the way that he talks and is oh, you gonna do that thing that the master told you to? And she's I don't know, you really should do that thing that the master told you to. And she's geez, I'll get to it. It's oh yeah, he's the guy. He's that guy. So it was pretty obvious. I saw someone say it in a prediction from one of the first episodes, and I was oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then when we actually got it the reveal, it was yeah, duh. So it really wasn't a big reveal, but it was still cool. It was a cool reveal, I guess. Also, Yord and Jeki dying, really caught me off guard. But also, the brutality of their deaths. That whole episode 5 was just the best one, right? You have, a Jedi getting, stabbed, and then he, force pulls another Jedi onto the lightsaber where the other Jedi still is. You got, a Jedi kebab being made here. It was freaking cool. Also, you have Yord just getting, completely, neck snapped, which I was not expecting. And Jeki getting turned into, a bowling ball with 3 holes in her. You literally pick her up and throw her down the bowling alley. I was holy crud. He just killed her. And then he's and then Solo's I can't believe you would kill a child. And then he's hey, you're the one who brought the child to a battlefield, man. So I'm just saying. And it's yeah, that's a good point. Why do the Jedi bring children to battlefields? That's a good question. So again, just cool stuff. Episode 5 was the best one. Everything else in the show is just kind of but episode 5 was the best one. Also, we got to see a lightsaber bleed. A lightsaber crystal bleeding. That was cool. A bunch of people freaked out about oh, you need to put a bunch of really effort into bleeding a crystal. You can't just do it when you're really sad, it's like, come on, dude, she just found out that her entire life was a lie. She just found out that this soul guy has been lying to her for like 20 years or whatever. I think she's angry enough to turn the lightsaber crystal red. Also, it just looked cool, because you could see it happening. The way they shot the crystal, like, inside the lightsaber, you could see it. It was, like, sticking out and touching her hand or whatever. And then, like, the blade, like, sparks out and, like, turns red, and it does it slowly, and it just looked cool. It looked cool, that's all I gotta say. I like that we got to see it. You know, you can complain, oh, it doesn't make sense, the way she bled it, she did it too fast, it's supposed to take longer. I don't know, dude. It's good, it looks cool, it's good. Don't think about it too much, it's just cool, I guess, I don't know. Also, people complain about the Power of Two song. Like, I get the chanting in, like, episode 3 where all, like, the witches are, oh, the power of many. I get that's a little cringe. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. People are like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. It's not the worst thing ever. But also, like, the actual, like at the end of episode 7, they have, like, a song. It's like, I hear the shame when they call me a name. It's catchy as heck. Like, they released it a couple, like that song by itself before that episode came out. People were freaking out that the end credits had a not, like, orchestral song. Like, seriously? I think it's cool. I think it's new. It's fresh. It's just interesting. But also just the song itself, I think is good. People are like, oh, that song's so bad. I think it's catchy as heck. I think it goes hard. I feel the shame and they call me a name. Like, it's just catchy. I like it. Hey, sue me. I don't know. And yeah, the biggest reveal from the finale. Yeah, Darth Plagueis. Honestly, I didn't even notice it was Darth Plagueis. I was just like, ew, what's this creepy guy in the cave? And then I was like checking Discord after. I'm like, wait, that was Darth Plagueis? Really? I guess it was. Sure, okay, I guess. Like, I don't know. I don't really care that much. It's like, yeah, it's the funny guy from, you know, Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Like, that's cool, I guess. I just don't really care. And I really don't know why. That's actually confusing. I'm more confused why I don't care. Like, maybe me from, like, a couple years ago would be like, oh, Darth Plagueis, whoa, it's Darth Plagueis! But just current me is like, okay, whatever, it's Darth Plagueis. And same thing with, like, Yoda showing up at the end. It's like, okay, cool, Yoda, it's the back of his head. He doesn't say anything, we just get to see maybe he's gonna be in Season 2. Cool, I guess, like, I don't know. So there's all my thoughts on the Acolyte, that's all I got to say. Another video where I just ramble. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this video, I don't really care. I just need to talk about this stuff. Like, mainly just the fact I'm just, like, so relieved that this show is just finally done, and I don't gotta think about it anymore. Like, it's not like Ahsoka. Like, Ahsoka, I think, was funny bad. For me, I enjoyed making fun of Ahsoka because, like, it was just kind of, like, silly, goofy fun. Like, oh, look at that. The fight scenes are bad because they have bad choreography or whatever. Like, there's a bunch of fun stuff. Or, like, look at how Thrawn just, like, lets his entire army get destroyed by Ahsoka and is like, an acceptable outcome. Like, the show was funny bad. It was funny bad. This show is, like, just kind of It's like, it's not bad, but it's not good. So it's just kind of So, I don't know. I'm just glad I don't have to hear people whine and complain about it anymore. That's my main thing. So that's it. That's the end of the video. Anyway, did you guys hear about Joe Biden? Yeah, I don't care.